to Bad Larry.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Bad Larry Kingdom. I'm your host, Bad Larry. Today we're checking out part 25 of the Inferno series, which is New Mutants, issue number 72. Let's check out that cover. I feel Brett Blevins really phoned it in here with this cover, which is why I rated it at only 82 out of 100. The background is lacking any effort, it's boring, and it seems like an afterthought. The red on the Darkchild, aka Magik, is way off. I feel she was too orange. And then what is she sitting on? Some green hill? This seems like a coloring book in its simplicity. And finally, I feel the interaction between Noster and Magik here is awkward at best. But let me know what you think in the comments below. And before we kick off the issue, hit that like button or your granny is a 2-bit pony-faced Tonka truck driving. Louise Simonson, most notably our favorite X Factor writer, usually delivers a quality story, but she's been working overtime on these Inferno tie-ins, writing for X Factor, Exterminators, New Mutants. So sometimes stretching oneself decreases the quality. Let's see how she fares in this particular episode, but I will say Brett Blevins, the artist, is swinging and missing. This first splash page is confusing if you don't know what's already going on. The big pentagram in the sky is being powered by 10 mutant babies, like little batteries in the sky, which is being operated by a magical computer that keeps Noster's demon spells going, which keeps this giant white disc open, which is a portal into Limbo, which is also allowing all the demons from Limbo to just filter into Times Square. Okay, you up to speed now? There's an interesting dichotomy regarding Illyana Rasputin and her quote-unquote beauty. The reason Noster was crushing so hard on Magik is that I guess he could see her potential, her full demon Super Saiyan form shown here in her red scales, skins, hooved feet, tail, horns, demon eyes, and teeth, and a forked tongue. Heck, to a demon like Noster, she's hot stuff. So the past issues where Noster has been going on and on about her being so beautiful, well, he was seeing this form in her soul, and we, the audience, are just seeing it actualized here. Here, Magik is pissed that Noster betrayed or tricked her, which is normal demon behavior, right? What did she expect? Noster tricked her into opening the portal, which they call a stepping disc, from Limbo to Earth to save her New Mutant team. But Noster uses his magical spells to keep the stepping discs open. We saw most of what is to happen in the last part, in Exterminators number 4. We saw what happened on the ground. Now what we're going to see is what happens in the air into Magik. To these demons, especially the little minion demons, the Darkchild Magik is like their favorite singer, actor, celebrity, all rolled up in one. In her fully realized Super Saiyan demon form, all the demons are fawning over her. Woo-wee! They're simping for her hard, asking her to rule them, even though they have allegiance to Sim or Noster. Even Sim and Noster begin fighting over her, which is good for the heroes. You know, you gotta get your enemy to fight with each other. It's always a good strategy. The battle between Noster the demon and Sim the demon is like watching one football team with a great offense and the other team with an equally great defense. Sim is all about brute strength and power, and now that he has infected himself with the techno-organic virus, he can manipulate his body at will, dodging attacks or putting himself back together quickly after an attack hits him. The techno-organic virus also protects him from the Darkchild's most powerful weapon, her soul sword, which destroys demons easy peasy, while regular non-infected demons. Noster, on the other hand, while physically strong and able to shapeshift his size, relies on the old school sorcery and spellcasting as his mode of battle. And just like in the end of Exterminators number 4, we saw Noster using a stepping disc to port the Darkchild away, and in that episode we never saw where she was ported off to. Well, we're about to find out. And it's a bit silly, comical, and fun. The New Mutants look to the sky and realize their battle is to be up there. Like I stated before, when your enemy takes his eyes off of you, off the ball, that is your opportunity to take the advantage. And that is just what the New Mutants realize. They see that the demons are all about protecting that pentagram, so they decide that's where they will attack while Naaster's busy fighting with S'im. We already know, as we already covered Exterminators number 4, that this quote-unquote mystery kid is indeed Taki the Whiz Kid, who built and must operate Naaster's magical computer. And if you remember, he was also the hero that blew up said computer, and Naaster with it. Dang, what is Magik doing here? Was she listening to Nelly? Drop down and get your eagle on, girl! These next few panels remind me like of Roger Rabbit, the silliness of mixing cartoonery with reality. In Daredevil, for example, the demon representation was much more serious, adult. It was even more serious in Power Pack. It felt real. This just feels silly. The demonic energies have transformed nearly everything from people to inanimate objects into demonically possessed beings that look to maim, kill, and generally cause havoc on Earth. And now, they're just messing with Magik here. But Magik's mutant power is still in effect, the ability to create a stepping disc and teleport away, which is what she does here to get free of this nonsense. The Exterminator mutants flying in the dinky little airplanes are about to head to the ground and do the fighting there, which we already covered and saw in the last episode, Exterminators number 4. The new mutants will remain fighting demons in the air, looking to save the 10 mutant babies, powering the demonic pentagram. And apparently the only flyers on the new mutants is Cannonball and Warlock. I'm aware that the current version of Sunspot can fly, but apparently he didn't develop that ability yet in this series. Well, the nonsensory continues. Magik has currently lost her ability to determine the destination of her stepping disc. Here we see she was meant to go back to Times Square, but she was dumped in front of this here pet shop. The caged pets, who are now possessed, bully her into freeing them, which she does, but then promptly puts her into the cage, making fun of her appearance, calling her an animal. The possessed creatures keep telling her, use her sword, which she has failed to do up to this point. The new mutants are now working to free the 10 mutant babies powering the pentagram, but the energy lines connecting them are all too dangerous. Lucky for Cannonball, he's nearly impervious to injury while he's flying, so he can just pluck them babies out of the sky easy peasy. But the others can't. They will get the shit shocked out of them. This is where the New Mutant team loses me a bit. This Warlock character is a bit OP, right? He just becomes whatever the problem needs. He overcomes the obstacles a bit too easily. He forms up some cartoon-sized rubber gloves to protect him and his passengers from the energy, and the only danger comes from his teammates falling off of him, which isn't a real danger as he just scoops them back up almost immediately. I feel this situation only really needed Cannonball and Warlock to overcome, which is kind of boring, not really needing Sunspot, Wolfsbane, Danny Moonstar, and Gossamer for anything but moral support, I guess. And here we go again. Magik is just dropping into more and more of Looney Tunes scenarios. This drop puts her in front of a barbershop. The possessed red carpet tosses her into the barber's chair, also possessed, which puts her in a big bear hug. And all the barbershop tools start going in on her, spinning the shit out of her, all the while talking trash about her quote-unquote beauty, now that she's a kind of hideous-looking demon chick. It's silly they're spinning the crap out of her, but it never feels seriously dangerous. It's Roger Rabbit silly. Finally, the other New Mutants start doing some work. They've rescued 6 of the 10 babies so far, about to be 7. As the New Mutants save the 7th baby, the pentagram in the sky boosting Naaster's spells and sorcery begins to wane. Naaster is afraid he can't beat Sim squared up. So Sim is too strong and powerful now, especially after being infected with the techno-organic virus. But Naaster is too prideful. He won't take the L laying down. He still has a few tricks up his green sleeve. As we saw in much more detail in Exterminators number 4, Naaster infects himself as well with the techno-organic virus in order to manually manipulate the magical computer and battle S'im, evening the playing field. And if you remember, Taki the Whiz Kid used his mutant power to revert the magical computer back to normal, causing this gigantic explosion. This is where we ended with Naaster. We didn't know what happened to him after that big explosion. I think we're about to find out. Everything seems to have worked out for our young heroes. The 10 mutant babies were saved, which shut down the pentagram, and the big explosion caused the big stepping disc that was the highway for the limbo demons to enter Earth has also been closed. Everyone decides it's time to go and save or find Magik, while Rusty, Collins, and Skids are on babysitting duty at the church. But just as we thought everything has come to an end, well, it seems like it is just beginning. So Naastor has just had a major upgrade. Red Naastor is Super Naastor. He's now infected with the techno-organic virus, allowing his sorcery to be a part of him, so he doesn't need the pentagram or stepping discs anymore. He is and has all the power he needs. The Darkchild has listened and is now slashing everything in sight, slashing up the demon chair, and the situation is quite confusing. The possessed items want her to use the sword. I guess it is making her more demonic in doing so. Illyana Rasputin hadn't had a chance to take a good hard look in the mirror. She is shocked by her transformation. Imagine how you would react if all of a sudden you looked as she does now. Here's where I have a bit of a gripe with the colorist, Glynis Oliver. She didn't have 2 different shades of red to use there at Marvel headquarters? I mean, come on, man. Create a little bit of visual separation from these characters. With them both being the exact same shade of red? It's a fail. Anyway, Naastor's tricks are endless. It seems there was no true path for victory for Magik. Every road she's gone down, every move has had one destination. Her soul becoming more evil and taking over. Naastor tells her to give him the sword, accept her evil soul, and to rule with him as his evil bride. Well, Magik does her best Hall & Oates. Oh, I can't go for that. Oh no, I can't go for that. And performs a tertiary transformation into a solid armored demon angel and slices all ugly Naastor into pieces. This son of a bitch Naastor will not go away. Just die already, you a-hole. Naastor is playing the long game with Magik, psychologically. He tells her that she must choose willingly to be his bride, to join him. And if she doesn't like playing with him, well, let's see how she fares playing with old Sim. I doubt he'll be as nice. And then Naastor bounces, letting Magik to suffer in her own psychosis, mentally broken. All the while, that Cheshire grinning ass M is ready to pounce on Magik. Wow, what a cliffhanger. But stay tuned for the next episode, New Mutants number 73, where we will see Magik's brother, Colossus, briefly join the New Mutants in a bid to rescue Magik from this turmoil. I rated this issue an 84 out of 100, same as the cover. There were some highlights. Seeing Magik fully transform into the demon angel armor, that was cool. But there were some lowlights as well, such as the art was not great on many panels. The reds of Naastor and Magik, for example, were too similar. The underutilization of some of the characters in the story, and the silliness of Magik's ordeals at the pet shop and the barber shop. Look, I love Louise Simonson, so I guess that's why I tend to not drop her below a B. But this wasn't her best ever writing. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed this issue and it made me laugh a few times and I would recommend it. I'm just saying at this point I've read a lot of her work and this one's a B. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and come back for part 26 of this epic Inferno saga with the New Mutants number 73. Thanks so much for the support. Be good to one another. Peace.